Hello, my holistic soul sisters. You are catching me on video. First time I have done a video for the podcast. So if you're watching this here on YouTube, welcome to Holistic Soul Sister TV. You can also catch these podcast episodes on any podcast platform. But if you prefer the video content, here I am. And today's episode comes with a very exciting announcement within our Holistic Soul Sister community. This has been a project I have been working on behind the scenes. I say 2023, but I've really been working on this in the last 3 years. And that is because I am announcing our primary practitioner program within the Holistic Soul Sister community. And so today's episode, I'm going to dive into what does that even mean? How can that help you heal holistically and grow spiritually? And this episode is going to be the introduction to our next mini series called the Primary Practitioner mini series. And essentially what's been going on behind the scenes is I've been communicating with a lot of my Holistic Soul Sister tribe, hearing what you've been working on, what you're growing through. There has been a lot of shifts and changes for so many of us since 2020. That has been career changes, relationship changes, health changes, and just wanting to truly up level and overhaul our lives to be even better. And so I've been witnessing a lot of my Holistic Soul Sisters do just that. But along with up leveling and changing our lives, we usually need some sort of mentor, coach, doctor, healer, somebody to support us on this journey. And one of the biggest things I hear from my fellow Holistic Soul Sisters is they have a hard time figuring out who's the right person, who's the right healer, doctor, practitioner. And so a lot of people come to me and ask me if I know anyone that can help them with X, Y, and Z. Now, if you've been following the Holistic Soul Sister community and you've been a part of our tribe for a while, you know my story. Holistic Soul Sisters as a company, as a brand, was birthed out of my own dark night of the soul experience. That is a whole separate story for a separate conversation. But I just want to touch upon, if you don't know my story, in 2019, I went from being extremely healthy, reversed my autoimmune disorder, had a lot of muscle mass, was probably in the best shape I'd ever been in my life. I had a really great career going. I was married. I had the best friendships. I mean, like every area of my life was like, check, check, check. I've made it. And I was 33 years old. And then all of a sudden, overnight, my health came crumbling down. Ended up being mold toxicity. So within 6 months, I lost an extreme amount of weight, including muscle mass. I couldn't read, write, walk, talk. I mean, I had no neurological function. It was a very dark, dark place to be in. And I had to go about finding my care team. We couldn't even figure out what was wrong with me for the first 6 months. So I went through chiropractors, multiple holistic doctors, multiple massage therapists, energy healers, Reiki practitioners, past life regressionists, acupuncturists, Chinese medicine doctors, craniosacral therapists, mental health therapists. I saw a therapist at the time, so much more. I mean, I was going down the rabbit hole, and you're probably thinking, how the heck could you afford all of that? And I don't even know to this day. I was blessed to have the right healers come my way. I had to sample through quite a few, but in that experience, I learned what questions to ask, how to advocate for myself, how to know if it was the right practitioner for me, when to move on and find a new practitioner. So honestly, over the course of my life, from reversing my autoimmune disorder to my dark night of the soul healing, and since 2019, I've been on an ongoing journey of healing. So I have now encountered so many more practitioners that have helped me on my journey, from business, relationship, energy, even different physical therapists that do different kind of modalities and techniques like embodiment and stretching and myofascia and somatic and emotional therapy. So I have been through it when it comes to finding the right practitioner. And because of that journey, I have just been called in 2023 to provide my Holistic Soul Sister community with the support, with the resources, with the references to streamline your healing journey. It can be so expensive to find the right healer, right? It can also be very frustrating because usually when you're looking for a coach or a mentor or a healer, you're in need of something. You're already overwhelmed. You're already going through something physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever it is you're needing assistance with. And so finding a practitioner can be extremely exhausting and time consuming when you're already going through the struggles of life. I know that multiple times throughout my life, I have wanted to see a therapist, and I've seen many therapists for many different reasons throughout the course of my life. But every time I try to find a therapist, I Google, then I call my health insurance company, I ask for referrals, I go like weeks just trying to find the right therapist, when in all honesty, I need a therapist like right then and there, probably yesterday. And so that is what our primary practitioner program is going to do here within the Holistic Soul Sister community. Like I said, I've been working really hard behind the scenes. A lot of these practitioners that we're welcoming into the community have been personal healers, personal doctors, personal mentors to me that helped save my life, that helped me overcome some of the hardest illness obstacles I've ever had to overcome. And they're going to now be a part of our community, which essentially means that you're going to have direct access to them. And we are kicking off this mini series here over the course of the next few weeks. We are going to launch the first 5 primary practitioners. And through a podcast episode, we are going to introduce them to you, to our community. And essentially in these episodes, you're going to get to know them. You're going to get to understand what they do, how they help, what is their unique why and their unique how. You're going to understand the services that they offer and what that even looks like. I'm also going to have them do some education on their specific genius. So we're going to get about 30 minutes in each episode where they are just going to teach us something about their personal niche and area of expertise. So I'm really looking forward to that. And these episodes are going to serve as reference points. So if at any point in your journey, whether it's holistically healing or spiritually growing, you're needing someone to assist you, you can go back to these primary practitioner episodes, listen to them, get to know them before you make a decision to move forward. Also, what's super exciting is every time that we welcome in a new primary practitioner, not only are they going to get their own podcast episode where I will interview them and they will teach us something, but they will also do a Monday takeover within our private Facebook community. So if you're not in our private Holistic Soul Sister community over on Facebook, you're going to want to jump in. It is free at the time of this recording. So come join our community online, and each practitioner will have an entire Monday where they are going to take over the Facebook, meaning they're going to teach us. They're probably going to go live. They might put together a workshop or a webinar or something that we can dive in and learn from them. All of this is going to be for free to our community. So I hope you're excited about that. I hope you're looking forward to that. I know a lot of our Holistic Soul Sisters, they live, out of state. I am currently in Florida, so we will have a lot of practitioners that are local to Florida. But every single practitioner I bring into this program for Holistic Soul Sister Co., they will do virtual appointments. So no matter where you are in the world, you can receive their services. Because like I was saying, a lot of our Holistic Soul Sisters live in part of the country or the world where maybe they don't have access to some of these more advanced healers or advanced coaches. And so this will be a great way for all of my Holistic Soul Sisters to come into the Facebook group. You will see in the group, there's a resource tab. You can go there and the primary practitioner PDF will be listed. We'll have a photo of each practitioner, a little bio on them, what services they offer, how to get a hold of them, and all of their information. So this was just a way that I felt really called to take my knowledge and my understanding of how to connect women with the right healer for them and just put in a little extra work for our community to streamline this process. Because like I said, I've been through it. I have spent probably a fortune if I ever decided to add up the amount of money I've spent on healers and mentors and coaches and doctors. It's probably been a whole lot, but all of it very, very worth it, because even the ones that didn't work out taught me how to find the right one. It also taught me different modalities. Chiropractors work all in different ways, right? Holistic doctors all have a different philosophy, all with the end goal of helping someone turn on the healing rate, but they all go about it in a different way. So it's just a matter of you finding the one that works for you. So super excited. I hope you are loving this idea. So this is the introductory episode. I just wanted to let you know what is coming up here on Holistic Soul Sister Radio if you're listening to the audio podcast version, or over here on Holistic Soul Sister TV. On the YouTube channel here, you are not only going to see videos from me educating on my area of expertise, but I'm also going to have our primary practitioners putting together videos and content and education, because within Holistic Soul Sister as a brand, my main goal, my main mission as the founder is to help women heal holistically, grow spiritually, and essentially live a high vibrational lifestyle. And within this brand, we do that through 3 pillars. The first pillar is learn. Education. Knowledge is power, right? You may not even know that some of these practitioners even exist. You may not even know that some of these healing modalities are even out there. So my goal with the education portion is to teach you what exists and who is available to help you heal, and many, many different ways to go about that. And the second pillar is community, connection, called Holistic Soul Sister Co. for Holistic Soul Sister Community. And so we have already built a beautiful group of women on Facebook, on our social media platforms, and in person that are like-minded, that support one another in their decisions to live a holistic lifestyle, when sometimes to the rest of the world, it can seem a little weird. And women that connect in their spirituality, even if they are different religions, even if they have different philosophies and belief systems, but the open-mindedness and the connection to living a higher conscious lifestyle has been beautiful to witness within our community. So the pillar of connection and community is so important to me, but we're taking that up one more level with the Primary Practitioner program. So now not only are we connecting like-minded women who are interested in healing and growing together, but also connecting them with the healers, with the coaches, with the mentors. So that is the elevation that this Primary Practitioner program is going to continue forth with. So I'm so excited about that. And then our last pillar is about up-leveling, which is doing the work. It's one thing to learn and it's one thing to connect and find the healers, but then we actually have to up-level and do the work. So our third pillar in this company is all about creating workshops, webinars, online virtual events that you can attend, or local events if you're here in Tampa Bay, putting together events where you can show up in person. If you're not local, come hang out with us. We'd love to have you in Tampa Bay, and who wouldn't want to come to the sunshine and the beach? So, these up-leveling events are where we put in the work. And soon we are going to have Holistic Soul Sister retreats. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. But that is really what this brand is founded on. So I hope you are looking forward to the next few episodes of this mini series. After these episodes, we will always be back every time we welcome in a new practitioner. We do have some previous episodes that have featured practitioners such as Dr. Dana McGrady, Joanna Sanchez, who is an embodiment coach. We have Dorothy, the breakup coach, and so many more. So there is a lot of content that you can already dive in, but the ones that we're featuring from here forward are what we are considering our primary practitioners. And like I said, there will be a PDF available with a cheat sheet that you can always reference back to. So next week, we will officially be launching the mini series with our first primary practitioner. I'm not going to reveal her just yet, but know that she is a dear friend of mine. We've been collaborating all of 2023. That'll make a whole lot more sense when you listen to the episode, but I am just honored to welcome these women. We will have them live here on YouTube so you can watch the video, get to know them in person, see them, and experience their energy through video. But if you prefer the audio only episode, you can catch that on any podcast platform where you can find Holistic Soul Sister Radio. So with that being said, the rest of this episode, I want to give you 5 tips that can help you find the right practitioner for you. Like I mentioned, I know the experience of trying to find the right person. So I'm going to give you 5 tips that have worked really well for me and can help guide you in your journey to finding the right person for you. So number 1, mutual respect. This is a huge one. This comes down to the fact that you are the patient, the mentee, the one needing assistance, and the practitioner is going to be the expert. We already know that. If you could do that on your own, you would do it on your own. So it's already said energetically that that person has more knowledge in you. But you should never ever feel like they see you as less than or as someone that just needs to follow their lead or obey them. I am very big on finding a practitioner that sees your relationship as a collaboration. You are working together. There is no healer, doctor, mentor, coach, or anyone out there that is going to heal you, that is going to do the work for you, right? So you can't give your power away to somebody. So any relationship that you develop for whatever, healing holistically, the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body, energetic body, whatever, doesn't matter. The point is, it's a collaboration. So when you're finding a practitioner, you want to make sure that they treat you with respect, that they are meeting you where you're at, that they don't necessarily have a cookie cutter way about going through their expertise, because you're unique and you need to feel like they're asking you questions, they're trying to get to know you, they're trying to understand you, they're working with your unique circumstances. This is something I found was very important for me, especially when I was really, really unwell. I didn't want someone to say, oh, we're just going to do these supplements and this, and this because this is what works. Because I felt like my situation was so individualistic. I had so many things I wanted to share with them, so many questions, so many unique things that happened in my past that I thought would matter in the way that they were going to treat me. So during your intro session with them, or as you're getting to know them, make sure that this is already happening at the beginning of your relationship with them. The second thing I find very helpful for finding the right practitioner for you comes down to transparency. This is so important with anyone that you're looking for in assistance with your healing journey or spiritual journey, that they fully explain their niche, how they operate, what their program looks like, their prices. This is so important. Their prices, if that's a one-time fee, all the hidden fees. If you feel like you're getting shocked or surprised after you've already signed up with them, then I would definitely call that out. I would say you did not express that, you did not communicate that, but it's your responsibility at the beginning to ask all those questions and pay attention to how they respond. If they are not answering the question, if they're dancing around it, you know that there's something they're hiding. And I think it is so important for a practitioner to just be upfront and honest, because when you're needing their assistance, you're usually going through something in life. And the last thing you want to be worried about is someone taking advantage of your unfortunate circumstance. For instance, when I worked with my holistic doctor, I had so many questions, right? I was going to do therapies like ozone and IVs and things that I'd never heard about before. But we had mutual respect. She trusted me. She listened to all my concerns. I really believe that she was the right practitioner for me because of the relationship we developed, the mutual respect. So when it came down to asking the questions about these healing modalities that I'd never experienced before, I needed full transparency. I needed to understand how much I was going to pay, how many sessions she'd think I would need, how long they were going to take, what I could expect, side effects. Like, I just needed full transparency. And she did all of that and even more. She even told me things that I would never even thought to ask before. And when it comes down to asking how many sessions, just know that some practitioners can't give you that up front because everybody is different. What one body can heal in 3 sessions, your unique body may take 5 or 6 sessions. So don't feel like they're misleading you, but they should be upfront and say, we're not exactly sure. This is usually how long it takes, but it could take more, right? That is also transparency where they're letting you know that they don't specifically know. Now, there's other practitioners that say, you know what, you're going to work with me in 1 session and you're going to be good. And if they have trust and faith in their capabilities and what they're going to do, and they're being honest about 1 session, then you can tell. Energetically, you'll be able to tell. So number 1, mutual respect. Number 2, full transparency. They should answer all of your questions up front. Number 3, I want you to follow this rule of 3 sessions. 3 sessions is the magic number, right? 3 is a very sacred number. So after 3 sessions, you're going to be able to tell if it's working for you. I know it takes a lot of time to heal the physical body. Trust me, it took me months. So 3 sessions wasn't a whole lot of time, but I could already tell forward progress. I could notice little things getting better. 3 sessions is always kind of my number where I'm like, all right, either this is working or not working. I can see the benefit or I don't. This comes up a lot with chiropractors. I switch chiropractors a lot because I realized that they weren't all in the same method that I needed for my physical body. And what I mean by that is I had a certain practitioner that wanted to do supplements and prescribe herbs and teas and all these things. But I already had a holistic doctor doing all of that. So when he was recommending stuff, it was confusing me and I wasn't sure who to listen to. So I just said, hey, I need a chiropractor that is only going to look at my physical body, adjust me, and help me with the tightness in these areas. And that was the full transparency where I could call the office and say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And after 3 sessions, I was able to tell that it was helping me. But I've also gone to chiropractors that just do the same cookie cutter adjustment every single time. And after 3 sessions, I was like, I still feel the exact same way. And I just keep coming back to do the same thing. And they're not changing their pattern. They're not adjusting for my body. And this isn't going to work for me. So pay attention to 3 sessions. After 3 sessions, if you feel like it's not working, you have 2 options. Option number 1, which always go with this option first, talk to the practitioner and let them know you don't feel like it's working, because they're not going to know unless you communicate it with them. And if you built the mutual respect with one another, most likely they're going to course correct. They're going to adjust or shift their modality to help you. If they are maybe unaware or don't have knowledge of a different way, they may be open to learning and expanding their own experience to meet you where you're at. This happened to me with one of my primary care doctors. They were regular, conventional. I had gone to her for years for my thyroid issues to get my medication. And then after 5 years of working with her, I came to her one day and said, hey, I think I want to reverse this autoimmune disorder. Do you think that's possible? And as a conventional medical doctor, she looked at me and said, I think it's possible, but like 95% of the population will never do what is required. And I said, well, you've not met me yet, because I'm here to do the work. And I gave her these books that I had that I looked up on Hashimoto's, all this research and paperwork I had done. And I asked her, are you willing to go through this with me as a conventional doctor? I'm going to put in the work. And what I need from you is to run my blood work every 6 weeks to see if I can come down on my medication. And she was open to it. And not only was she open to it, but she actually went and did her own research after our appointment. And when I came back to my following appointment, she had knowledge and experience and wisdom that she had learned and questions she had asked to other medical professionals and nutritionists and people that she knew in her network. So after my many years of sessions with this doctor, I wanted to course correct. And she was willing to course correct with me. And there's a lot of practitioners, when you use option number 1 and you let them know after 3 sessions that you don't feel like it's working, they will be happy to adjust and work with you. Because if they're the right practitioner for you, they want to see you succeed and win. And they're willing to do whatever they can to help you get there. Now, option number 2 is if the practitioner doesn't have the knowledge or the time or the capability to assist you any further, and you have to kind of remove yourself from their experience or coaching or whatever. So that may be the case. Now you're going to have a conversation with them and just say, hey, what I'm looking for is a little bit different. Maybe I thought it was physical. And now I'm realizing that after we're working on the physical body, it's actually an emotional and energetic thing. And I think I want to switch gears. And instead of doing chiropractor, I want to now go to an acupuncturist because I think it's deeper in my tissues. And they're going to understand more than likely. And now, you still have them as a point of reference if you ever need to go back to them, but a good practitioner is going to say, I understand, and maybe I can even refer you to someone else. So after 3 sessions, have the conversation. I think it's so important. Now, if you've signed up for a package or a group program or something like that, you may need to finish out your sessions, and the right practitioner is going to work with you again to work through that and what that's going to look like for you. So definitely have those conversations. Number 4 focuses on testimonials. So I want you to make sure that this practitioner has some form of testimonials. You can find this on their website more than likely. You can call their office, and usually they have some sort of testimonials if they have social media. I want you to find testimonials, and not just about the 5 stars. That's kind of irrelevant because we want to know how and what does the process look like working with them. So I want you to find testimonials or conversations from previous clients or patients that explain what it's like working with them and what they got out of it, because that is so much more valuable than just a 5-star review. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Now, some practitioners are pretty new, and that doesn't mean they're inexperienced. Many practitioners should have become a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a healer, a Reiki master long before they got their certification. So timing isn't necessarily a big concern for me. It's more about who have you worked with and how have you helped them. So if you can't find any testimonials, I would not hesitate to reach out to the practitioner and ask them if there's anyone that they've worked with previously that you could connect with and maybe get a better understanding of their experience from the client perspective. I would love if anyone came to me about astrology and wanted some advice from a previous client of mine. I would love to connect them to help them not only better understand what I offer, but also have a point of reference or maybe even a new friend. So I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for testimonials, and what you should be looking for in testimonials is the how they have helped that person. And then number 5, I have to bring this up because I get this question from so many women when they're finding the right practitioner for them, is how do you know when your intuition is telling you that it's not a right fit versus resistance? Resistance is the feeling that you get right before you're about to change your life. And you know you want to do the thing, but you're afraid and you're scared and you don't know how it's going to work for you. So you find obstacles and reasons. Like, I don't have enough money to pay for this person, or I don't have time, or I'm too busy, or my husband wouldn't like it if I went to a therapist. We find resistance in our own lives because we're afraid of what's on the other side, how we're going to up level, how we're going to grow and show up differently, versus intuition. Intuition can tell us, oh no, this is not the right person for us. That looks very different than resistance. So what you want to pay attention to when it comes to your intuition is how your body is reacting and responding to this person. When you're talking to them, when they're explaining who they are and their modality, maybe you're watching them on this podcast or this YouTube video, and you feel like, wow, like I'm called to them, I'm drawn to them, then they're probably the right fit for you. But if you're watching this and you don't feel like it resonates, or you just feel like you're not connecting, then maybe you need a different practitioner that goes about it in a different way, in a different energy. So trust the intuition if your body is calling you in or out. Now, once you know it's the right practitioner, that's when resistance can show up. Actually, that's usually when it shows up. So I'll give you an example. My holistic doctor that helped me heal myself from mold is also a shaman, and I've worked with her for many, many years. And she still to this day treats me with IVs, and we're good friends. And I have seen her heal so many people. We have mutual respect for each other. I actually found her through a good friend of mine who had Lyme disease, so I had her testimonial. She had full transparency, and then I went to a retreat. If you followed my episode from October on my 4-day spiritual retreat, I had so much resistance. My intuition told me I needed to go. I had the right practitioner, but resistance came up because I was afraid of how I was going to change, how big this retreat was going to be for me. So you can catch that episode on my resistance experience, even though my intuition told me this is where I needed to be. Also, you'll find your intuition will show up if maybe in your head you've been thinking, oh, I really want to find a Reiki practitioner. And now all of a sudden you're listening to one of our mini series episodes with a Reiki practitioner, or you go out to an event and you meet a Reiki practitioner. That is the universe lining up the right person for you. So trust that divine connection and your intuition guiding you to the right person as well. Hopefully that makes sense. That's a tough one to kind of talk about, but resistance is real. It usually comes from up-leveling. Intuition is your body's response to someone or something telling you it's right for you. So I hope those 5 tips are really helpful for you. And next week is the kickoff of our mini series. So I hope you tune in next week. Make sure you're in the Facebook group. You can find the PDF. We'll be constantly updated with the new practitioners we welcome in to our community. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I send you so much love and light, my holistic soul sisters. And until we officially launch next week's episode, make sure you keep healing holistically and growing spiritually.